Up to speed with the two teams, starting off with the host Qarabag, who make two changes from the defeat to Athletic Club. Camilo Duran comes in up front, and Marko Jankovic comes into the midfield. Their starting 11 looks like this. It's Mateusz Kochalski in goals, Mateus Silva, Marko Jankovic, Abdella Zubir, Balol Mustafazadeh, Leandro Andrade, Camilo Duran, Kedi, Pedro Bicalio, Elvin Jafar Guliev and Kevin Medina. Two goalkeepers on the bench, Shakruddin Magomedlayev and Fabian Buntic are those two. And Sami Mai, Chris Kwaku, Nariman Akonzadeh, Emmanuel Adai, Danny Bolt, Alexei Kashchuk, Toro Bahramov, Abbas Husseinov, Hikmat Yabrailzadeh and Badavi Husseinov are the rest of the substitutes. And it looks like they will set up with a 4-2-3-1, similar to the visitors Chelsea, who have made 7 changes from their weekend win over Tottenham in the Premier League. Esteval, Tariq George and Yorel Hato are among those who come in. 3 very exciting youngsters. It's Reece James, Marc Cucurella, João Pedro and Robert Sanchez, who are the only 4 to keep their places in a much changed team by Enzo Maresca. So the starting 11 looks like this for Chelsea. It is Robert Sanchez in goals. Outfield is Marc Cucurella, Tosin Adarabayo, Jamie Gittins, Andre Santos, João Pedro, Yorel Hato, Reece James, Tariq George, Estevao and Romeo Lavia. 2 goalkeepers on the bench for Chelsea are Philip Jurgensen and Max Merrick, and the remainder of the bench, a very strong substitutes bench for Enzo Maresca, is Enzo Fernandez, Liam Delap, Trevoh Chalobah, Moises Caicedo, Malo Gusto, Wesley Fofana, Joshua Achampong, Mark Gui, Facundo Buonanotte and Alejandro Garnacho. So this is actually the third time that these two teams have met. They did come together in the one season that Qarabag have played in the Champions League proper, back in the 2017-18 season when we were still in the group stage era of the European Cup, and Chelsea won both of the games by an aggregate score of 10-0. They won 4-0 here in Azerbaijan and then 6-0 at Stamford Bridge. And that's actually Chelsea's joint most goals in their first 2 matches against an opponent in the Champions League. They also scored 10, but a decade and a half ago, if I recall correctly, against Nordirland in the group stage. Referees tonight are from Austria. Sebastian Geshammer is the main man in the middle, and Manuel Schottengruber is the VAR, with Josef Spurny assisting him wherever they are based. It may be at the stadium, they may be in a centralised location, but let's hope for minimal VAR intervention after a couple of interesting interventions in last night's games in the competition. So opportunity, depending on how results go with the remaining games to be played tonight, for one of these sides to end up in the top 8 after 4 games. That is certainly where Chelsea will aim to be. Qarabag in a very good position after their opening 3 matches. Brilliant wins away to Benfica and then here against Copenhagen, and they were in the lead inside the first minute away to Athletic Club before succumbing to a comfortable win in the end for the team from Bilbao. And Qarabag are in their home kit this evening, which is a very dark grey, you could say, or black if you want to stretch it all the way. And Chelsea are in their change kit of all white. They are the World Club Champions, and they are the team that get us underway, shooting from right to left in the first half. Ball going all the way back to Robert Sanchez. He knocks it forward up towards Tariq George, who is the furthest forward in the Chelsea setup tonight, and that's not the first time we've seen that this season for Tariq George, not playing a natural striker. You would expect that João Pedro would be more accustomed to that, but he will likely slot in just behind in the 3 players playing in behind George, with Estevao on the right and Gittins, the former Dortmund man, on the left hand side. Romeo Lavia is just inside the centre circle in his own half, in possession. This is now forward with Cucurella. Chelsea look to try and make a fast start. Gittins on the left hand side, still maybe finding his feet in a Chelsea shirt. It's maybe not quite gone to plan for him just yet after making that Big summer move from Borussia Dortmund. You would suspect that the Azerbaijani champions, 12 times champions of their country, will be setting out their stall in the opening minutes, trying to make sure that they keep their shape, keep Chelsea as quiet as possible. And you include their run to winning the Club World Cup during the summer. Chelsea have won 20 of their 23 matches in international competition under Enzo Maresca, and that excludes qualifiers, because you may recall that last year they actually had to play a qualifying round to get into the league stage of the Conference League. Chelsea have made the big step up this year, having won the Conference League in May, to be playing at Europe's top table. They made a decent start to their campaign, also picked up a win over Benfica. Jose Mourinho returned to Stamford Bridge as the Benfica manager. João Pedro was going to be penalised for a free kick about 5 or 6 yards away from the Qarabag penalty area, as Bacalhau is pulled down to ground. Qarabag trying to bring the ball out of defence with Medina. Good ball forward, trying to search for Zubair, but Sanchez will be able to knock this away for Chelsea. A good crowd this evening in the Azerbaijani capital. This is the second stadium in Baku. The Olympic Stadium is the main stadium, and that is where Chelsea have a very fond memory of winning the Europa League final back in 2019 when they thrashed Unai Emery's Arsenal during that one season under Maurizio Sarri. Andre Santos and Reece James now. That's a really good ball forward. Won the chase down for Estevao, but good defending from Medina to intercept the ball. Qarabag will try and get out of defence, but won't get very far, as Jafar Guliev has had to put the ball out of play. And Chelsea have a problem here back in their own half, with Romeo Lavia down on the ground, sitting. And he is holding his upper thigh, and that is not a good sign, and it's another potential blow for Romeo Lavia, who's had a real stop-start to life at Chelsea since he made the move from Southampton. And he is absolutely furious. He's receiving treatment, and Enzo Maresca was issuing some instructions from his technical area. I suspect is already starting to have a think about how he will need to readjust. Lavia playing as one of the two holding midfielders in front of the back four alongside Andre Santos. Lavia is walking off the pitch, but the expression on his face doesn't tell a particularly great story. He's taking his taping off, so I think that is the end of the night for Romeo Lavia. It's a non-contact injury. He's holding his upper right thigh. And Enzo Maresca, with less than 5 minutes on the clock, is going to be forced into a change here. Well, Enzo Maresca made 7 changes tonight. Lavia was one of them. Back underway with Estevao putting the cross into the box. Cucurella will chase it down at the opposite post, the near side. Good defending by Mateus Silva to get the ball away. Chelsea playing a man down at the moment, with Lavia done for the evening. He's got plenty of options, of course, to bring on. He's got, as I mentioned, a very strong bench available to him. And it looks like Moises Caicedo is the player who's just put his shirt on, and he is going to come on. He may not have anticipated having to come on so early in the match, but that's what's going to happen. Real Hato playing alongside Tosin at the back for Chelsea, and it's Hato on the ball here. to Andrei Santos. Caught in possession here by Jankovic. And good strength by Andrade. He's in the box here. He's put the ball back. There's going to be a shot towards goal from Katie, which is blocked. And Qarabag putting a bit of pressure there on Chelsea. Still playing a man short. 6 minutes gone. Chelsea back in possession with their captain, Reece James. Onto the halfway line with João Pedro, who made such an immediate impact, didn't he, after signing. Brought in during the Club World Cup, scored a couple of absolutely vital goals to help them towards winning the tournament. Although Cole Palmer was very much the star of the final in the end. And that one which I think caught plenty off guard when they beat the European champions in New York. In the same stadium, MetLife Stadium, where the World Cup final will take place next year. Chelsea getting some good territory all the way down in the near side corner in the Qarabag half. This ball was played forward to Kukurea. He's managed to win a throw-in. Kukurea always keen to get forward and help Chelsea out in an attacking sense. And there is the change. And Caicedo is on for Lavia. And you've got to hope that Lavia is only feeling a bit of soreness and that is nothing particularly serious, as Reece James prepares to take the first corner of the night with about 8 minutes gone in Baku. Qarabag with some defending to do as it comes in right to the middle on top of the goalkeeper, punches it away. There's Caicedo on the volley from the edge of the box and it goes over. And what an impact that would have been straight off the bench. But he gets under the shot and it's always sailing over Mateusz Kochalski's crossbar. Connected it with it very nicely on the right-footed volley, but couldn't get his foot fully over the ball. Hit it with the side, or hit it on the side, and had plenty too much spin on it. Silva now for Qarabag, gives the ball away to Kukurea, then João Pedro hands possession to Jankovic, and Qarabag all the way back to Kochalski. Qarabag keen to pass the ball out of their own penalty box, which might increase the heart rates of all the home fans inside the stadium, of which there are plenty this evening. Incredible turnout for the current 4 in a row champions of Azerbaijan, 12 in total since the league was founded in 1992. As Qarabag continue their second ever Champions League campaign in the competition proper. They're on the left hand side here attacking. James blocking off the cross. Comes back into the midfield though with Jankovic, one of the two players that's come in for Qarabag from their last Champions League match, the defeat to Athletic Club. Kukurea clearing for Chelsea. And it's a handball amongst all that as both teams exchange possession, and it's Chelsea are going to get a free kick. Not really sure it was a handball. I think it came off Pedro Bacalhau. It whacked him in the face to me in the one replay that I was able to see there. But Chelsea were given a free kick for handball. His arm was out, but I'm not sure it actually hit it. Chelsea give away possession in their own half here, and Qarabag keen to try and move it quickly, but Kukurea intercepts a pass, and now it's Jamie Gittins released on the left hand side onto the edge of the penalty box here for Chelsea. Tries to link up with Pedro, who loses out, and Qarabag will come forward again with Bacalhau, or Jankovic rather. Mateusz Silva back to Kochalski on the edge of his own 6-yard area, the Qarabag goalkeeper, and then the mistake by Medina as he passes the ball out of play on this near side and gives possession back to Chelsea. It's a very scrappy start to proceedings in Baku, which no question is really going to suit Qarabag. They will want to disrupt Chelsea as much as possible. They're on their own turf tonight. They will fancy that they can get something. But here's George in the box, puts it across, and that should have been 1-0 as Andre Santos messes up the finish from about 7 yards out. Qarabag going to sleep from a throw-in, and Andre Santos, maybe the goalkeeper has his near post cover, but he certainly should get his shot on target. He doesn't have to do too much. It's put on a plate for him. There are a couple of defenders around, but he should do better. And Qarabag escaping there when they should at least be facing a corner, but probably should be a goal down. Maybe not quite the player Chelsea wanted to have available in that situation as George squared it across. Now Qarabag will come forward down their left hand side. Jafar Guliev exchanging the possession with Zubir, the captain. Jankovic. Qarabag just trying to keep some possession. They will not be able to do that as they go back the way, and this could invite the counter-attack as Esteval comes forward, tries to take out Medina, but he had him matched for pace and had him beat in strength, and then he wins a free kick as Esteval brings him down. He's a very exciting player, isn't he? The 18-year-old brought in over the summer, having played against Chelsea during the Club World Cup, of course. 3 goals for the season so far for him, including that last gasp winner against Liverpool a few weeks ago. At the outset of that pretty awful run for Liverpool, which it looks like they're finally breaking now. It could be a mistake by James, and that could be a penalty possibly. Sorry, it's Hato who got a bit clumsy in there in the penalty box, as Camilo Duran came in behind the Chelsea defender, and a lot of fury around the stadium as the referee seemed unmoved as Duran went to ground. Ball goes long down the left hand side, bounces a bit awkwardly for Hato, but I'm not sure what he's trying to do. If he's trying to pass it back to the goalkeeper, he gets in a real tangle with Duran. There's also a bit of a shirt pull from Duran on Jorel Hato. I'm not sure there's a lot in it in the end. It's probably 6 and 1 and half a dozen. 6 of 1 and half a dozen. And I don't think VAR will be too interested, and indeed we have restarted. But just a warning shot there for Jorel Hato. Now Chelsea will look to come forward again with Andre Santos. Looks to switch it out to Esteval on the near side. Jafar Guliev had it covered and hence it out of play for a Chelsea throw, just slightly ahead of the halfway line inside the Qarabag half. Chelsea will be keen to try and assert some control with about 15 minutes on the clock. Pedro gets us to look at it coming in from the inside. Calio picks up for Qarabag. KD, sliding challenge by Cucurella, wins possession back for Chelsea. This is Esteval. Andre Santos goes ahead into the penalty box. Santos forced away from goal. Caicedo on for Romeo Lavia very early on here. Looks like a thigh injury for Romeo Lavia. This is Gittins on the left hand side. Continues to be pushed along. Poor pass trying to pick out Esteval. Qarabag will try again on the counter-attack, and they might have a bit of pace down this left-hand side. They'll try and put it through the middle here to Duran, and Duran this time again is fended off by Hato. They've got speed, especially down that left-hand side, Qarabag. And this is João Pedro. Chelsea will look to just temper the pace, and they've got to control the tempo, that's for sure. Qarabag do look pretty explosive when they pick up the ball. Good pass in between the lines here for Chelsea though with Andre Santos, and now Esteval into the penalty box. It's Esteval, and he gets it under the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. 1-0 to Chelsea, and he's done it again. The 18-year-old has burst onto the scene in 2025, and he has his second Champions League goal of his young career. And there's a big travelling support who have made the long journey all the way from London. And it is Esteval who fires Chelsea into the lead. A scrappy start to the game, but we've seen a bit of quality from the Brazilian. Cuts inside, given far too much time to do so, and then get the shot inside the goalkeeper's near post. Kuchalski gets a fingertip to it, probably should do better. But it is a nice left-footed finish by Esteval. Puts a bit of power behind it. That's what makes it difficult for the goalkeeper. And Chelsea open the scoring. They lead by a goal to 0 in Baku. He's slipping as he finished as well with Esteval. Excellent work to keep the shot under control. And with 17 minutes gone, it's Qarabag 0. Chelsea 1. 2 goals and 4 Champions League appearances now for Esteval. And he's only going to get better. So Qarabag, who would have been hoping to fend Chelsea off from a scoring point of view for as long as possible, trailed by a goal. That should settle Chelsea down as well, who just really couldn't settle yet. But that was a move that was probably really too easy for Chelsea with the quality they've got available to them. Andre Santos finding it too easy to make those runs forwards from midfield and support the attacking players. He set it up for Esteval, then he did the rest. And now Qarabag have to try and settle themselves back down. Good strength by Andre Santos, and he's caught in the face by Bicalio. It's an accidental collision, but Andre Santos will have felt it, and the referee is just having a brief word with Bicalio there. He's going to escape a card on this occasion. Sebastian Gishammer from Austria is the man in the middle of this evening. There wasn't a lot in that on Andre Santos, but he doesn't actually get caught in the face at all. It was connection was with the shoulder really, and that's what Bicalio actually tries to say to the referee. So Andre Santos has maybe got the better of Sebastian Gishammer there. Given away by Sanchez here in a very dangerous area, and Qarabag trying to get a corner will only be able to get a goal kick, as Reece James does a really good bit of defensive work there on Abdellah Zubair. Just see who the last touch came off. Oh yeah, it was Zubair. James getting a touch to it. It came off Zubair right as it came onto the line, and it's actually ended up being a really good decision from the officials to give the goal kick to Chelsea. And now Cucurella will make his way down the left hand side, clips the ball forward to Gittins. It's not going to quite stay in play for the winger, and a Qarabag throw on the way as we head towards the 20-minute mark in Baku at the Republican Stadium, with over 33,000 fans inside the ground tonight, and it's quite quiet at the moment. The home fans definitely subdued after that opening goal from Esteval a few minutes ago. And Esteval is the man who's made the difference so far for Enzo Maresca's side. This is Hato. Forward to Cucurella, good control into the middle now with João Pedro, and he's going to try the switch to Esteval. Couldn't quite pick him out as Jafar Guliev intercepts the pass, but Esteval then works brilliantly hard to win the ball back for Chelsea. This is Andre Santos, Pedro, Gittins trying to lay it back off to Pedro. Esteval's going to get it back for Chelsea though. Chelsea working really hard. James, Caicedo, Hato, Gittins now on this left hand side. Gatto gets away from gets away from his man. Good cross. And came Andres Santos. Now James picks up the loose ball. Caicedo turning away and then back towards the Qarabag goal. Gittins. Going to go back from Chelsea now. Tosin. Good pass forward to Andres Santos. They just sucked Qarabag in there. Esteval. James clips it towards Gittins. Had too much on it. Qarabag goal kick. "21 minutes on the clock. Chelsea lead by a goal, 2-0. Qarabag trying to pass away out of defence. Chelsea happy to put the pressure on. Just forcing the ball backwards. Qarabag will have to take a goal kick. Chalsky with the short goal kick on the Azerbaijani side. Silva. It's the layoff. Silva pushing forward. This is a good run. Still going well into the Chelsea half now. Zubir. And a good pass forward for Duran, and it goes across, and Cucurella had to be there to clear as Andrade was coming in at the far post. Good move by Qarabag. Still they have it. Over on the far side. De Calio. Just goes back to Kevin Medina. Qarabag still looking a threat. Having gone behind. Jankovic. And it's going to be an offside here, I think, yes. And that's going to break everything down for Qarabag. That's going to be a real frustration for Qarabag, who did really well to create the opening a moment ago. Cucurella covering the man at the back post, Andrade, really well. Important piece of defending from the Spanish international. As Cucurella, as a Qarabag rather, able to get in behind for the first time tonight. Coming out of defence now for Chelsea. Caicedo. Which is to play to the far side with Reece James, the Chelsea captain. Atto with plenty of grass ahead of him for the moment. Gittins tries to latch on to the pass. It's intercepted by Silva. To Andrade now, brought down by Moises Caicedo inside the centre circle. Qarabag free kick. But 20 minutes left of the first half. Qarabag have never beaten an English side in Europe. They've lost all 7 of their games against them. And before tonight they conceded 21 goals. It's 22 now. And Gittins could help make it 23 as he comes forward. He's into the penalty box. Gittins onto his left foot, puts it across, and just couldn't get to Tyreek George, who was in a good area for a tap in. Qarabag get enough bodies back to defend. Cucurella looks like he's going to be penalised for a late challenge on his man there. It's Kiri Borges who has gone down holding his left leg. Not a great challenge actually from Kukurea. Looking at it the second time, it looked like Kenny Borges, he was in real discomfort, and I did wonder if he was maybe overdoing it slightly, but having a look at a reverse angle of the challenge now, I'm not so sure. He is being given some treatment here by the Qarabag medical staff. Kukurea might have been slightly fortunate to escape a yellow card there. As we wait for play to resume, it is Esteval's goal about 10 minutes ago that has separated the two sides here. The 18-year-old with a really nice finish inside Mateusz Kochalski's near post. Still, Kenny Borges is down here, and this isn't looking too good. We've already seen Romeo Lavia have to go off through injury inside the opening 5 minutes of the game, and I'm now wondering if Gurbanov, the Qarabag coach, is having to now consider his own change inside the opening half an hour. And I think I've just seen the very thing there be signalled to the Qarabag bench, so that's a blow. One of the players in the midfield three just behind Duran, and I think Gurbanov is still peeved by the fact that Mark Kukurea was not shown a yellow card for the tackle that's led to this injury, and you really can't understand why he feels aggrieved about that, because it wasn't the clearest tackle at all from Kukurea. You could maybe make an argument that it falls into the professional foul bracket for a yellow card. And Qarabag will be forced into this substitution. So it's now Qarabag's turn to play a bit of football with 10 men on the pitch as they prepare the substitution. Kenny Borges is actually back up on his feet as if to suggest he's going to give this a go here. The signal was definitely made. I'm not making that up, I promise you, to suggest that there should be a substitution, but it could be a chance for an equaliser, and oh, it's hit the post, and it's going to go in on the rebound. Leandro Andrade does it again in the Champions League. Just as every fan in the stadium had their phone torches on, creating a mini light show, those phone torches are now waving in the air as the home fans celebrate the equaliser. It was Camilo Duran who was able to get away from his defender. His shot hit the post, but no one covered Andrade on the follow-up. And out of absolutely nothing, Qarabag are on level terms. It's Hato caught in possession by Duran. Duran comes inside, tossing. And then it's from quite far out, I have to say, on the rebound from Andrade. He gets in ahead of Kukurea, who just doesn't react quickly enough. Puts it into the corner opposite of where Sanchez was, so he had no chance. And the Azerbaijani champions have equalised. The third Champions League goal of the season for Leandro Andrade. That is also his fourth goal in Europe this season when you bring in the qualifiers. He'd only ever scored 3 in his previous 22 European appearances before this season. And now he's got 3 in the Champions League proper alone. Half an hour gone. Qarabag 1, Chelsea 1. And we are going to get that change from the home side now. Kenny Borges is off and Emmanuel Adai is replacing on 3 goals for him this season. So not a bad player to be able to bring on. Where's number 11? Joe Hato's had a bit of a hard time dealing with the Qarabag attackers in the opening half an hour, and he ultimately is culpable for losing the ball on the edge of the penalty area. And Chelsea just have to step things up again. They were starting to settle down, And Chelsea have got another injury worry here. Jamie Gittins has gone to ground. He is banging the pitch with his fist. He is in discomfort himself. Now, just going to see what happened. Oh, but he's just been caught inadvertently by Pedro Bacalhau just in the top of his foot. And then Bacalhau also has gone down for the home side after taking a sore one from Marc Cucurella. So it's all happened in the opening 31.5 minutes in Baku. And Qarabag back in it. At one apiece. Thanks to Leandro Andrade, who's making a real name for himself in the Champions League this season. Here's Cucurella, and Gittins is dispossessed brilliantly by the goal scorer Andrade, doing his defensive duties, but then Chelsea give away possession, or sorry, Qarabag give away possession again. Only about 7 or 8 yards from their own penalty area. Out it goes to Esteval on the right hand side, giving Jafar Guliev a hard time. Goes to the byline, good sliding challenge by Marko Jankovic, and then wins a goal kick as well. Great defending. Just felt when that Chelsea goal went in from Esteval that they were going to really settle down into the game, assume control of it, and make life very difficult for Qarabag, tire them out. But Chelsea got a bit slack. Didn't help that there had been a little stoppage before it, with Kelly Borges having to be given treatment before coming off for Qarabag, and that might just have forced Chelsea into that false sense of security. But they do look a bit suspect at the back. Here's Mateus Silva, well advanced here from right back, and he's going to get a throw in as Cucurella slides it out of play. Never beaten an English team before, and I said that, what, about 10 minutes ago? I'll have a bit of belief here as there is a light show still continuing in the stands here at the Republican Stadium in the Azerbaijani capital. And that has just lit up the crowd, the goal as well, from a sound point of view. They're making a bit more noise now. Again though, Qarabag dispossessed deep inside their own half. Not for a very long mind. But João Pedro has it here. Turns towards the Qarabag goal. Gittins one shot on the left hand side. He looks to be fine after being in a bit of pain himself a few minutes ago. Pedro forced back away by Andrade, but Andrade then catches Pedro on the halfway line. That's a free kick on this near side. Pedro trying to force his way through here into the box now with Gittins for Chelsea, and Gittins mishits the effort, comes off the side netting. Just over 10 minutes to go of the first half. Qarabag back in it at 1-1. Win against Copenhagen here last time out in the Champions League, and if they were to win tonight, they would take back-to-back home wins in the same season in a major European competition for the first time ever. And it would be quite something to do it against one of the three defending title holders in European football from last season. Qarabag 1, Chelsea 1. Gurban Gurbanov will be thoroughly delighted with the scoreline. Maybe would want a little bit more from the overall performance of his side. But what you can certainly say from Enzo Maresca's point of view is that he will be demanding a whole lot more. He's made all those changes coming into the game tonight. And so far Esteval's really probably the only one, maybe Andre Santos, who is justifying their inclusion in the side so far among those 7 changes. Qarabag will try it on the left-hand side again. This is Adai, the substitute. Good pass through forward. It's going in behind, and then the shot from Yafar Gulyev is flashed off target, and that has to go down as a big chance for Qarabag. Really good run in behind the pass to match, and Yafar Gulyev, I think the old rush of blood to the head. He had options on the cutback, decided to go for glory, but he rattled it off target. But that left-hand side on the counter-attack continues to cause problems for Chelsea. Now Hato is dispossessed again in his own half. Shouts for handball, penalty! Qarabag have a penalty! The referee didn't take long to award it. And Qarabag could be about to turn this game on its head. It does seem on the face of it like VAR will have to have a good look at this one. It's Hato, the offender, as the cross comes in. There's barely any distance as Andrade tries to cross. But what I will say for Jarell Hato is his arm is away from the body. His arm does go out to the ball when it's crossed in. I just wonder how much time he really has to think about this. But the referee, Sebastian Geishammer, didn't take too much time to make the decision and point to the spot. And it's not been a great start to the evening for Jarell Hato. He will be desperately hoping that there is going to be an overturn, but it's not looking that way. But the VAR has confirmed the decision, and Marko Jankovic has the chance to put Qarabag in front with 7 minutes until half-time. Here he steps up. It's going to be left-footed, and it's in! The penalty goes one way, Robert Sanchez goes the other, and in no time at all, the champions of Azerbaijan are in front. 2 goals in 10 minutes. And there is absolute jubilation around the Republican Stadium. What a historic scoreline this could be. Chelsea will have their complaints about the award of the penalty, but it is 2 mistakes that has led to the goals for Qarabag. It's a lovely penalty from Jankovic. His 3rd goal of the season. He goes to the left, Sanchez dove to his left. First Champions League goal ever for Marko Jankovic. A great moment for him. And as we head towards the final 5 minutes of the first half, plus stoppages, Enzo Maresca, who already would have been too pleased with the performance up until this point, might have to have a good look at his substitutes bench. There is plenty of quality available to him. And Qarabag could well finish the night in the top 8 of the Champions League. And again, they looked at a bit of trouble there. João Pedro is brought down on the edge of his own box. He will get a free kick, but Qarabag really enjoying the opportunity to put pressure on Chelsea when they have the ball around their own penalty area, and it's causing big trouble for the Chelsea defenders. And that time it was the man who scored the second goal, Jankovic, just blasting into João Pedro there. No question of a free kick being awarded. Well, no question that it should be a free kick, which it was. So going pretty swimmingly after 15 minutes for Chelsea when Esteval put them in front. Qarabag have taken their opportunities, and they will continue forward again. There's confidence flowing through this team as Mateus Silva wins a free kick. Gittins, the offender this time. Medina plays it across. I just wonder from Gurban Gurbanov's point of view how he approaches the game from this point. Although I'm sure it's a nice thought, and a good manager would have tried to plan for it. He probably didn't really accept the realistic chance that his team would be in front at this point. I'm doing Qarabag a disservice in that way. But they are ahead and they have a lead to defend. Long time to go though. Here's Hato, who's had plenty of trouble in this first half. He'll be looking to make amends if he gets on for the second half, to be fair. Pedro clips it forward to Gittins, who's not really been able to get into the game yet. This is Caicedo. James. Esteval. Caicedo. Chelsea probing here. Time running out in this first 45. Gittins has to go back to Hato. Caicedo further still to Tosin. Santos. James. Esteval on the far side now. Looking to take on Guliev, and the attack's going to fizzle out for Chelsea here, and now there's one to chase for Duran, who's picked the ball up on this near side, and now he's deep into the Chelsea half. Chelsea trying to get bodies back. Good clip cross towards the back post, teasing the Qarabag attackers, but it just had a bit too much on it. Another player down on the ground here, and it looks like Jankovic is down. And there's a yellow card here for Andre Santos. Now, I will say at this point, I'm not too sure what that is for. It may have been something that happened at the beginning of the counter-attack. Hopefully we will be supplied with a replay so I can describe that to you. But Chelsea need half-time. Yeah, we're just going to see it's the beginning of the counter-attack, and Andre Santos just goes in late on Jankovic as he played that brilliant pass forward towards Camilo Duran. And it's a good spot by the referee. Didn't blow up the play at the time and then came back to show what is the first yellow card of the evening, and it goes to Andre Santos. Into the final 30 seconds of the 45. I suspect we'll have maybe 3 or 4 minutes or so of added on time, but Qarabag, who were a goal down inside 16 minutes, now find themselves 2-1 ahead as we crawl towards half time in Baku. What a position for the 12 times champions of their country to be in. 3 minutes added on by the referee. 3 minutes for Chelsea to try and find a way to get back into the dressing room on terms. João Pedro forward now to George. It's George on the edge of the box, goes for the shot, blocked by Mustafa Zadi. He's quietly gone about his business in the first half, and Hato caught under the ball this time, manages to recover as Andrade was right on his tail. And Hato was having a bit of a nightmare right now, I have to say. He just needs a word in his ear, an opportunity to try and calm down. George Caicedo on the halfway line now. Looking for some runners. Doesn't get too much movement, but Pedro will now pick up the ball and again able to go forward. Cucurella makes a good run ahead towards the byline now. Back it goes to Gittins. He's inside the box. As Gittins goes for the shot, deflected. And it came off of Duran, I think, and that's a Chelsea corner on this near side. Qarabag back in plenty of numbers. They will be so desperate to keep this lead intact at the break. They've got some momentum behind them. They will be absolutely sick if they were to concede here. James will take the corner as he so often does. James with a right-footed delivery, caresses it towards the middle of the box. Kaczanski's there to punch it away. Santos picks up on the far side, leaves it to go out for a throw-in. Chelsea's ball. Lots of regrouping required in the Chelsea dressing room at half-time, even if they were to score in the next minute or so. So we're into the final minute of the minimum 3 added on. Chelsea no great rush here. Hato, Caicedo and Tosin. Caicedo tries to clip it towards Cucurella. Well intercepted, and Qarabag are going to try to counter-attack again here. It's going to bounce back towards Cucurella though. Andre Santos out to Esteval on the far side, again taking on Neferguliev. Esteval's had a good first half, fizzled out for him in the last 10-15 minutes or so, but that's not hugely surprising considering the way the game is going. Gittins concedes a free kick on the edge of the box, and that should do it for the half as Bacalio went down, tripped up by Gittins. Referee with the whistle to his lips, and that is half time in Baku. And here's a scoreline for you. Qarabag lead Chelsea by 2-1. Esteval scored a lovely goal in the 16th minute to put the visitors ahead, but in 10 first half minutes, first Leandro Andrade equalising on the rebound, and then Jarell Hato penalised for handball inside the penalty area, and it was Marko Jankovic who stepped up to send Robert Sanchez the wrong way, and it means that the champions of Azerbaijan lead the Conference League holders by 2-1 in Baku. So what an interesting second half we've got coming up for you. Make sure you're with us to hear it. We'll be back shortly.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.
And welcome back to Baku. Qarabag leading Chelsea by 2-1, and there is a triple change on the way for Chelsea to get things started for the second half. Enzo Fernandez, Liam Delap and Alejandro Garnacho are all on their way on. Jamie Gittins, Andre Santos are among the three that are coming off, and so is Tyree George. So no messing about from Enzo Maresca for the start of the second half. I'll run down the two teams for you to start the second half. Qarabag with Kachalski in goals, then it's Silva, Jankovic, Zubier, Mustafazadeh, Andrade, Duran, Bicalio, Jafar Guliev, Medina and Adai. And Chelsea begin the second half with Sanchez, Cucurella, Darabayo, Pedro Hato, James Esteval, Fernandez, Delap, Caicedo and Garnacho. So Enzo Maresca has just one change left available to him for the rest of the game. Qarabag ending the first half as they will start the second half, forced into that change just after the first goal, if you remember, when Katie Borges had to come off for Emmanuel Adai. And so Esteval staying out on the right hand side for Chelsea. Looks like he was caught there by Kevin Medina. Referee not interested in Medina's continuous run forward, and he is pulled back by Reece James. That will almost certainly be a yellow card. It's the second of the night, and there's a bit of a extracurricular activity here between Reece James and Kevin Medina. Chelsea will especially not be happy. They felt there was a foul on Esteval just outside the Qarabag box. The referee not interested at all, and Medina made a brilliant run forward, and James catching Medina as he steamed ahead. The yellow card for James, and everyone getting involved here. And it looks like Mateus Silva has just been shown a yellow card for his involvement in the proceedings. So the second and third yellow cards of the evening have been issued. So Medina, yeah, well, I have to say, by the way, referee's got the decision spot on not to give the free kick to Chelsea, because Esteval loses his footing in front of Medina. There's absolutely no contact whatsoever. Medina makes his way forward and is pulled back by James just after the halfway line. And James just let his frustrations boil over a little bit there. Not even a couple of minutes into the second half. We still haven't actually restarted play here after all that. So a feisty start to the second half in Baku. Qarabag leading by 2-1. My name's Daniel Bowers, and what a result this would be. It would take Qarabag for the moment into the top 8 of the Champions League table, which, remember, the 8 teams who finished highest in that table come the end of the 8 league phase fixtures will go straight through into the last 16, and then the remaining top 21 top 24 rather, I should say, will then take part in the knockout playoffs, which as we saw last year can throw up some very interesting combinations indeed in this new format of the UEFA Champions League. It's kind of back on the attack on the right hand side at the moment. Calio forced back the way. You just wonder how this second half is going to pan out. Enzo Maresca's made the changes, has put Liam Delap through the middle as he continues his return from injury. Good run by Yafa Guliev down the left hand side. Very powerful cross. It's going to go across just over Adai's head, and then James absolutely blutters it away on the edge of the penalty area. And they're coming together with Jankovic. James involved again as James was making the clearance. The Chelsea captain involved in the wars in the opening few minutes of the second half. Jankovic trying to just press the clearance, and it's just a coming together between the two players. There's nothing more to it than that. And James is just his momentum after the clearance. He absolutely volleyed it with some venom away from danger, and Jankovic couldn't really get out of the way either. It happens. Everyone's all right. On we go. 5 minutes gone of the second half already, and there's not been much football played yet. Enzo Fernandez, for the first time, passed towards Esteval on this near side, and his manager put his hands out as if to ask, what was that? João Pedro for Chelsea now. No one there on the right hand side, so he's going to have to take it down there himself. Now he'll hope for some support. Chelsea have had 59% possession throughout the game. Oh, Tosin's now been caught out, and this could be trouble again. Duran towards the penalty box. It's Duran, powerful shot. It's deflected off of Tosin. It was Hato who was getting caught in all sorts in the first half, and that time Tosin Adarabioyo got into a real tangle. And Zubier, left hand side, into the penalty box now. Zubier will put it across, and behind it goes for a corner off of Tosin. 5 minutes into the second half, and Qarabag not settling for the 2-1 lead. They're chasing another one here. They are smelling blood in Baku. Quick corner. Adai trying to go to the byline. Kukurea will pick it up. Garnacho laying it off for Kukurea, and in steps Medina to win it back, and now he will head forward on the left hand side. Powerful running, puts the cross in. It's not a bad ball, there's no one there. Robert Sanchez unable to come out for the cross. Mateus Silva though dashes down the right hand side to pick up the loose ball from the cross, and Qarabag keep possession. Chelsea caught on their heels here. Zubier. This is good play from Qarabag. Jankovic, who scored the goal from the penalty spot that's put Qarabag ahead. Liam Delap working hard to win the ball back, and now he's released Garnacho. Not the best first touch, but he will get the chance to run into the defence and try and find a pass through to Esteval. It's going to come back for Garnacho. Brilliant finish. 2-2. That's exactly what Enzo Maresca was wanting from our Alejandro Garnacho. His second Chelsea goal, 2 years since he last scored in Europe, and Alejandro Garnacho delivers the impact required of him, having come on at half time. It's a brilliant finish across Mateusz Kochalski. Great power, perfect accuracy, no chance for the goalkeeper. And Chelsea get the game back on level terms. Chelsea coming forward right from the kick-off, and they will get a corner here as Qarabag get into a panic. And another sign again of what Alejandro Garnacho is capable of. Real quality on the finish. 8 minutes into the second half, it's Qarabag 2, Chelsea 2, and Chelsea have the corner with 2 Qarabag goals in 10 minutes in the second half. We've certainly not been bored in Baku. What I will say for Qarabag though is I don't think this is going to be the trigger that sees them settle in. This game is open, and that might just suit the home side as much as it will Chelsea. Chelsea can't wrestle control of the game, and they just weren't able to do that in the first half when they went in front. Then Qarabag will fancy their chances. This game is not over yet. As the lap is released over the top, there's no flag right now. The lap's in the penalty box, lays it off for Enzo Fernandez, and that's a good save by Kochalski. Pushes it behind for a Chelsea corner. And all 3 subs playing their part, having come on at half-time. Garnacho's got the goal in there. It was Liam Delap and Enzo Fernandez linking up as Esteval comes to this near side to take the corner. And it's Chelsea on top right now. Can they get themselves back into the lead? Less than 10 minutes in to the second half as Esteval, the left-footed in-swinger on top of the goalkeeper, gets a hand to it. Did well because Tosin was right in front of him. And here's Bacalio. Qarabag might just want to slow things down a tad. It goes to Kochalski inside the 6-yard area for Qarabag. Whacks it forward. Good link up to Adai. And Zubair. And the pass through for Duran. Duran trying to get him behind Hato, and then catches him. Hato this time able to see off the press and wins a free kick inside his own penalty area. Okay, Emil Duran has been a constant threat all evening. But this game is finally poised now. For tonight, Qarabag had only ever scored 1 goal against English sides in Europe. That was a penalty against Tottenham all the way back in September of 15. Well, they've got 2 tonight, although granted one of them was a penalty kick. And despite Chelsea getting the equaliser, they are still in this game, and they will try on the counter-attack again. The pass forward just evading Zubair that time. It goes to João Pedro on the turn. We'll try and slip it through for Delap, and I think he's beaten the offside track, and it's Liam Delap trying to finish under the goalkeeper, and the keeper has done enough to make the save. And I think it is offside now. Yes, I thought Delap had just managed to get himself back onside. And Kochalski did well to make the save anyway. Yeah, I think he has just gone slightly ahead. It's a tight one. I do also suspect that Delap might have known he was offside all along. Didn't look to be a huge amount of conviction in his finish. Qarabag pick up a free kick on the edge of their own box. Medina fouled by Caicedo. 12 minutes into the second half. Qarabag 2, Chelsea 2. How many people were expecting that to be a scoreline at any point in tonight's proceedings. Caicedo knocking it back to Sanchez. Hasn't been tested tonight, Robert Sanchez, but he has had to pick the ball out of his own net twice. Rich James and Enzo Fernandez. Tosin. It's Chelsea now who are slowing things down. Again, they'll try the ball over the top towards the lap. It's dealt with, but not for very long as Pedro picks up. It's João Pedro into the box, trying to square it across for the lap, and Medina able to scramble it away. And again, the counter-attacking opportunity is on here, but Zubir takes a very heavy touch. Goes in hard on Garnacho. Does win the ball though. Good tackle. Did wonder if he was going to go over the ball at first. It's Jafar Guliev on this near side now for Qarabag. Forward to Adai, who hasn't really been in the game too much in the second half. Came on as a sub early on in the game. Ball goes across. Caicedo's there first. Adai picks up ahead of Enzo Fernandez. Adai working hard, but Caicedo manages to give it to Enzo Fernandez. And a good pass forward for Esteval. And it's Chelsea dashing forward. Esteval fended off well by Medina, at least for the moment. Good strength, and he gets a free kick. Taken quickly. This is Jankovic. Midway inside his own half. Game being played at a frantic pace. Every time either side tries to slow things down, the pace just lifts again. The players out there have got to be exhausted. It is a humid evening in Baku. Not that that's a huge surprise, mind. And you would expect the home players will be a bit more used to that than the Chelsea players. Qarabag are about to make a double change. I can see Nariman Akonzadeh is prepared to come on, and so is Toro Bahramov. So Gobran Gobanov ready to make two more changes. One in the first half was enforced, and Katie Borges had to come off in between those two Qarabag goals. Manuel Adai replaced him. Let's see what the Qarabag coach is going to do here as Kukurea is dispossessed. And then he gives away a free kick, just trying to fend off any chance of a counter-attack. Here come the changes. So Toro Bahramov is on. And just see he's come off. Leandro Andrade is actually going to be withdrawn here. That's a curious change. And also Camilo Duran being withdrawn. Particularly interesting. Those are two players that can make a real impact. Andrade already on the score sheet tonight. 3 Champions League goals this season. Camilo Duran has caused plenty of bother for the Chelsea defenders. But Akonzadeh and Bahramov are on. Akonzadeh has come through the youth system at the club. He's an Azerbaijani international. Chelsea continuing to be pretty slack out of defence here. Adai. He's got a bit of trickery in the feet. Adai. Pass out to the near side with Jafar Guliev. Uses it, loses it to James. James gives it away. Then gets it back and manages to find Esteval with his pass. He tries to go through the legs. Can't keep it very long. Jafar Guliev working hard, but Esteval will emerge with the ball. And now Enzo Fernandez goes out to the right hand side. There's the early cross. Mustafa Zadeh in the way. Qarabag have not looked out of place tonight. But then you could say that about their entire campaign so far until this point. And even if they don't come away with anything tonight, they've shown tremendous quality. A good mental strength, because when they lost that first goal, I don't think it would have been too unfair to assume that this game was only going to go one way, but Qarabag found a way back into it. They'll be annoyed with the nature of the second goal that they conceded. Especially so soon after half-time as well, to lose that lead, but they're very much in this with over an hour played. Adai and Zubair. Qarabag just knocking the ball about, trying to get a feel for things again. Can someone take control of this game? Zubair led the pass forward. This is Akunzade. Oh, good shot, not far wide. I tell you, this game is far from done. 63 minutes on the clock. Qarabag look pretty comfortable in possession as well. Nice layoff from his fellow substitute Bahramov, and the quick shot. Plenty of pace behind it, just slightly lacking the accuracy, but Robert Sanchez was diving for it. He didn't know exactly where that one was ending up. And that's a reminder of the threat that the home side pose. There's one change left for Enzo Maresca in this second half. He's still got the likes of Facundo Buonanotte, Mark Guiu, Josh Ashiampong, Wizard Fofana, Malo Gusto, Trevo Chalobah to come on. I think it's fair to say he's used his most of his attacking options. Mark Guiu is still there if he wants him. That final change. Enzo Maresca may just have to start thinking about whether or not he does stick or twist. He certainly twisted at the half. I suppose if this was a game of blackjack, he was twisting though when he only had 2 cards worth a total of 11, so he could afford to. Maybe not so much now. And they host Wolves on Saturday, who are still without a manager after Vitor Pereira was sacked at the weekend. .25 to play in Baku. Chelsea in possession. This is Reece James. Looks for the pass through to the lap. The runs causing some problems for the Qarabag back line. James. Enzo Fernandez can't squeeze his pass through. Again, Qarabag will try on the counter-attack. It breaks down pretty quickly though, although Hato had to scramble away as he came under a bit of pressure after a poor pass back to him. Oh, Adai was released there but slipped at the crucial moment, allowed James to step in. Qarabag continue to press. How long can they keep that going for? Caicedo challenged by Adai, and that will be a Chelsea throw in pretty much bang on the halfway line on this near side. Chelsea have lost each of their last 3 away games in the UEFA Champions League, and the only time they've ever lost 4 on the road in the competition was back in 2004-2005 under Jose Mourinho, his first season in charge at Chelsea. It's the quarterfinals that season. Lost out in the end to Barcelona, in a tie that included that Ronaldinho goal at Stamford Bridge. I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about. Qarabag knocking the ball back the way here, but quite happy to string the passes together. So 23 minutes left to play in Baku. Still, it remains 2 apiece. Alejandro Garnacho's goal 6 minutes into the second half has made it that way. But neither side has really had much of a chance since then. Enzo Fernandez looking to break the offside trap again on the right hand side. Just fended off for a second by Adai. Does switch it over to Garnacho, but it's well intercepted by Silva. Nicely read, and he will come forward on the far side. Qarabag looking for some players to make the runs forward. Zubier and Silva on the overlap, and Caicedo will be able to see it out for a goal kick. Silva maybe just extended himself a bit too much there. Took a minute to get back up, but he's going to make sure he gets back. It's been a good night for Qarabag. Whatever the result is, they've really showed that they are a team to keep an eye on for the remainder of this league phase. As the lap steams into the box, tries to finish across the goalkeeper, but Kashalski knew it was always going wide. Kevin Medina has sat on the park, but he is getting back up to his feet now. He just wanted a rest. Players have been warming up for Chelsea, so that final change might not be too far away. Certainly from Chelsea's point of view, any drop points will make their chances of a top 8 finish just fizzle away a little bit. It's too early to say that they're out of it, but there are a few teams that are pretty consistent. You look at Bayern Munich and Arsenal, they've won 4 out of 4 so far. Inter Milan, who play tonight, 3 out of 3. And if you make a reasonable assumption that Bayern and Arsenal are definitely going to finish top 8, having won all 4 of their first 8 games, then you're talking about there's only 6 places available after that, and that's when it gets really, really tight. We saw there was plenty of places to be sorted when we got to match day 8 last season. We have got a stoppage in play at the moment because Qarabag have a player down receiving treatment. It looks like it might be a bit of cramp for Yefar Guliev. Yeah, it looks like he's just getting the old stretch treatment. Try and see that off. Qarabag have put in a power of work tonight, though. They've been magnificent, and they, up to this moment, certainly deserve something from the game. It's a result that would take them into 12th place in the table, and Chelsea up until 10th. And the final change has been made by Enzo Maresca, and it is Facundo Buonanotte who's been given the nod here. And João Pedro, his night is over. So suspect he will just move in behind Liam Delap up top, with Esteban and Garnacho either side of him. Still waiting for the resumption of play here. 19 minutes to go plus stoppages. Chelsea are going to receive the ball back here for that stoppage in play. They kick the ball out, and Qarabag being sporting there. Looks like a couple more changes for Qarabag on the way. They have got just the 2 remaining, so that will do them for the evening once they use them. There's a lot of space for Esteval on the right hand side for Chelsea. It's been quiet since he scored. It's Esteval though with the shot on the edge of the box. In the way was Medina, and Medina is feeling it there after that. And this is the point of the game where, from Qarabag's point of view, because they've worked immensely hard, players are just starting to feel it. There's Enzo Fernandez pushing forward. And Akanzade watching him all the way there. Dawson. This is Reece James, the Chelsea captain. Can he inspire his side here? Esteval. No forward route there. Back it goes to Esteval. He's got a bit of space to run into. Garnacho's out on the left hand side. He gets it from Hato. Qarabag in a very rigid shape right now. Is this the point where they decide they can try and take a point? And they'll try and hold on. Ball goes over the top to Enzo Fernandez. Flicked to Liam Delap. Tries to push it back out to James. It does get there. Had to run to the touchline to do it. To pick it up. Forward and behind towards Esteval. Intercepted by Adai. Adai takes it in. Doesn't keep it for long. They want handball off of Mark Correa, and they're going to get it. That's a free kick. And Qarabag can make their 2 changes, and they are going to bring on Alexei Kashchuk. And the players being withdrawn are Yafar Guliev and Zubir. So the Qarabag captain's night is over. Alexei Kashchuk is on, as I've said, and the player joining him for the final 16 minutes or so. Is Danny Bolt. So there might be a slight formation change here from Gurban Gurbanov. See how that pans out. Neverguliev was struggling with a cramp, so not massively surprising that his night is over. Enzo Fernandez now out wide again to Esteval. Can he get himself back into this game? He opened the scoring. He's curled it in here. Headed back into danger by Qarabag. And looks like Akanzade has gone down on the edge of the Qarabag box, and that will win a free kick as Tosin just had his hands on his shirt there. Just a bit clumsy from Tosin. Can't afford really to be giving away those cheap free kicks at this point in the game. Qarabag just really starting to tire. Although there's a bit of slackness there from Kukurea. He's given away a throw over on the far side. It's very much going to plan for Qarabag right now. Second half hasn't delivered just as much excitement as the first did. But one suspects there might still be a twist on our hands here. Dina getting into a bit of a tangle that time. Bahramov did well to mop up things for Qarabag there, and they can go forward to Akanzade. Tries the first time pass forward, had far too much on it. Reece James. Buonanotte. Caicedo. Back to James. Again, Esteval on this right hand side. Can he make something happen? Well, he's got away from his man here. He goes to the byline. He will put it back. And there, thankfully, for Qarabag is Pedro Bacalhau to force it out for a corner kick. Just wondered if Esteval would push that out. He hadn't, no. And Garnacho, oh my goodness, he has sliced that from the edge of the Qarabag box out for a throw-in. It's a waste of a corner for Chelsea. And we saw a lovely bit of quality from Garnacho in the early stages of the second half with the equaliser. That was very much on the opposite end of the scale. Could be a break here on again for Qarabag. Space opening up on the left hand side for Adai. Cuts it onto his right. Wanted the shot, but Caicedo was in the way, and I think it was a miss hit as well as Esteval turns away nicely from Bahramov. Pass inside to Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez continues his run forward here. He's going to go for the shot, and it's over. Good effort. Just couldn't find a way to bring it back down. It had plenty of pace. It was a relatively accurate shot. It was right down the middle, but he just lifted it a bit too much. Didn't get the required spin on it to bring it back down the way. Chelsea knocks the goal kick forward. Onanotti goes up to win it for Chelsea. Here comes Jankovic in the back of Enzo Fernandez. That's a free kick to the visitors. Here's Garnacho. Back the way it goes to Tosin. Reece James, oh, that's a lovely ball up towards Kukurea. Kachalski had to come out and get to that, and he will then get a free kick. As Kukurea collided with him, entitled to go for the ball, but he missed and took the man. And when I look at it again, it's more Kachalski catches Kukurea, but the referee does award the free kick to the home side, who will be very grateful for that, I'm sure. Big crowd this evening in the Republican Stadium in Baku. It's Bahramov coming forward in for Qarabag on the left hand side. Support coming from Adai. Shifts away from James. Back to the man who gave him the ball. Then there's the cross from Bahramov, and it's straight into the hands of Robert Sanchez. Into the final 10 minutes now. James. Tosin. Caicedo. Onanotti. Skips away from one man here. Can't pick out the run of Liam Delap though. And Qarabag knock it back the way, but they will have to defend once again, and this probably is going to be the direction of travel for the game now. Fernandez on the overlap, the pass from Esteval, across it goes. Medina slides in to make sure he gets there first. Jankovic touched it last, corner to the Chelsea, taken quickly, curled in by James. Headed into the air by a Qarabag defender and then fully cleared by Kashchuk, one of the substitutes. Chelsea just have to be relentless now if they want to find a winner. Just as they were to hold on to the lead at the end of the first half now, Qarabag will be desperate to keep things level, but Esteval's trying to find a way through, and then his shot goes over. He wants a corner, which he isn't getting. He thinks there was a deflection. Still got something in him in this game, Esteval. It's been pretty quiet for him since he opened the scoring in the 16th minute of the game. That shot did look like it was deflected off of Medina, but neither referee or assistant felt the same way. So a Qarabag goal kick and a bit of an opportunity for Qarabag to run down some clock. 8 minutes to play, plus whatever is added on. And there might be a few minutes, I would suspect. And I can't shake off James again. Clipped up towards Esteval. Medina's been everywhere tonight defensively for the home side. Brilliant performance. Kachalski's clearance. Almost given away to Garnacho. Couldn't keep it for long. And here goes Bacalio. And now the crosses from the right. Oh, it's a good one. And Caicedo had to be there to put it out for a corner. That was a dangerous ball in from the right hand side. Ball coming in from Danny Bolt, who's come on in the second half. Really dangerous one and good covering defending from Moises Caicedo. And that's just raised the noise levels again inside the stadium. Over 30,000 fans. Bit of belief here that they could get themselves back into the lead and maybe find the winning goal. Chelsea set everyone back here. No half measures defensively as the corner comes in straight on top of Sanchez. Easy catch. And he rolls it out to Enzo Fernandez. And Chelsea looking to move it forward quickly. Garnacho's over on this right hand side now. Just giving a bit of time there for Qarabag to get back. But this is Buonanotte. He's got Enzo Fernandez to his right hand side. He's in a lot of space. It's a good pass. It goes across, and there is Mustafa Sadi to clear for the moment. Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, tempting cross, and Silva puts it behind for another corner. Corner from the far side this time for Chelsea. 5.5 minutes to go. The whistles sounding around the stadium. The home fans trying to lend their support to see their team through. Again, it goes short from the corner. Garnacho to Buonanotte from 30 yards out. It's going to strike! Oh, I thought that was it. It's gone wide. Great effort. But it's going away from goal and wide. But Buonanotte just hit the sweet spot there. Oh, it's not far away at all. Kachalski desperately diving to his left-hand side. But again, the spin always taking it away from the target. Just not bringing it back inside. Looks like Marko Jankovic is sitting down on the deck here for Qarabag. He scored the goal that did put Qarabag in front in that first half from the penalty spot when Jarell Hato was penalised for a handball. Chelsea looking to try and build some momentum again after that weekend win away at Tottenham Hotspur. They host Wolves on Saturday, then they go away to Burnley before a couple of really tasty games to end the month. First they will host Barcelona, and then you will also have Arsenal at Stamford Bridge in 5-day stretch. Some way to end the month of November. Up next in the Champions League for Qarabag, they will go away to the Italian champions Napoli. The rest of their fixtures in the league phase see them host both Ajax and Eintracht Frankfurt before they will finish their campaign at the end of January at Anfield against the Premier League champions Liverpool, with a big win last night at home to Real Madrid. Kevin Medina's just been booked by the referee. Maybe just said something that Sebastian Gashammer was not a fan of. Kachalski knocking it forward from the eventual goal kick. Took her time getting there. Time running out for a winner here. 87 gone. That's not a bad ball. And it's chased down here. And across towards Adai. Oh, James just stepped in at the right time to take it away from him. And he had to get there. Chelsea now will try again. Enzo Fernandez and Estevao. Tossing. Hato. Qarabag parking in front of their 18-yard box. Estevao on the right-hand side. And towards the final 10 minutes now. Estevao to Enzo Fernandez. Deflected and wide. And it's come off his own man, Delap. A goal kick for Qarabag. Chances racking up for Chelsea, but there's just been nothing really clear cut for them in this second half since Garnacho scored the equaliser. And it certainly will be a blow for their top 8 aspirations if they can't find the crucial score. Buonanotte now, Enzo Fernandez. Again, they will try down the right-hand side with Estevao. Can he unlock this defence? He will try towards the byline now. So many players in the middle, and the cutback is far from good enough. Whacked away out for a Chelsea throw-in on this near side as we're into the final minute of the 90. Hato. Garnacho, not the best pass to him. It bounces up in the air from the first touch. Does keep it under control and puts it back into the middle with tossing. Enzo Fernandez. Qarabag camped on the edge of their own 18-yard box. Cleared away. Buonanotte went down for a minute looking for a free kick he was never going to get. Reece James still forward. Estevao goes ahead. Estevao looking to try and fashion the space for a cross. He gets it back to Enzo Fernandez on the edge of the penalty box. Won back by Akonzade, and he should get a free kick, and he will. And Moises Caicedo has just absolutely lost it with the referee, and I was going to say he talked himself into the book. It's more like he screamed his way into the book there. And as the foul was given away, and we have 5 minutes of added on time. Qarabag almost there, and their fans are making a huge amount of noise, applauding their team, and so they should be, because it's been a tremendous effort. Kevin Medina showing good composure as he launches it forward. Tossing's header can only put it out for a Qarabag throw about midway through the Chelsea half. It's been Chelsea doing all the pushing for the last 15 minutes or so. Can Qarabag spring one more chance? They led at half time. They turned things around in the first 45. Pegged back by Garnacho just after the break. Akonzade. Good layoff with Adai. Akonzade does put it across. It's a good chance. Oh, it's straight into the hands of Sanchez from Kashchuk. Wasn't a great connection. It felt like a bit of a hopeful ball into the box, but Kashchuk did follow it in, but couldn't find the finish. And Chelsea now forward on the left-hand side with Garnacho. Silva's touch to take it away. Slides in. It keeps it in play for Garnacho. Caicedo chips it into the box towards Cucurella. Headed up towards Estevao. He tries the header. It's Garnacho! Good save at his near post by Kochalski. Qarabag giving away another corner, but it's a big save from their goalkeeper as Garnacho tried the bicycle volley. But halfway through the added on time, Enzo Fernandez will take this corner. Right footed in swinger. into a packed penalty area to the near post. There's Cucurella trying to get there, fended off by Pedro Bacalhau. And wait a second here, the ball stayed in play and Qarabag are up the other end. Can they? Good overlap, and the cross in towards Kashchuk doesn't get anywhere. Chelsea can try again. It is end to end, it's non-stop. Cucurella on the left hand side for Chelsea. Final 2 minutes of added on time. Enzo Fernandez will switch it to the near side with Esteval. Has he put too much on it? No, Esteval's managed to keep it in play. Lovely control. Esteval forced inside here though. Looks to try and flick it back, can't manage it. And Qarabag get it clear through Bahramov for a throw in on the near side. 90 seconds to go. Qarabag holding on, but they've had their own opportunities inside stoppage time. Esteval, can he find a bit of magic? He dinks it to the back post. Garnacho's coming in, he'll put it across. Silva's there. Cucurella picks up. Enzo Fernandez, toss in, and now to Reece James, out wide. James sends it in, there's no one there, behind it goes. That's going to be a goal kick, and that might well do it as we enter the final minute of the 5 added on. Qarabag